The crate exploded 3 feet from Owen's head. He dropped flat against the dusty ground as would splinters rain down around him. Someone was shooting up the trading post, and Owen had exactly zero interest in dying over a cargo delivery. He crawled behind a stack of supply containers, his ears ringing from the blast. Redstone Mesa was supposed to be safe. Boring even. Just another frontier outpost where haulers like Owen dropped off supplies and picked up payment. No questions, no drama, no explosions. Clearly someone had forgotten to tell the raiders, currently tearing the place apart. Owen peeked around the container. 6 armed figures in mismatched armor were systematically destroying everything in the depot yard. But they weren't stealing anything. They were searching, ripping open crates, scanning contents, moving to the next. Whatever they wanted it badly enough to kill for it. His ship sat 40 meters away across open ground. Might as well be 40 kilometers. Owen pressed his back against the container and tried to think. He was a hauler, not a fighter. His gun was still locked in the ship's safe where it belonged. Useless point, another explosion. Closer this time. Owen glanced at the crate beside him. His crate, the one he'd hauled all the way from the Centauri stations. The manifest said industrial supplies. Routine stuff. But the way these raiders were searching made him wonder what was really inside. He grabbed a pry bar from his belt and jammed it into the crate seal. The metal groaned. Come on, come on. The seal cracked open with a hiss of pressurized air. Owen pulled back the lid. Nothing but packing foam and regulation containers. He dug deeper, shoving aside layers of protective material. His hand hit something warm that stopped him cold. Cargo didn't run warm. Not industrial supplies anyway. Owen pulled out a crystalline sphere about the size of his fist. It pulsed with internal light, throwing rainbow patterns across his hands. The surface felt smooth and impossibly delicate, like it might shatter if he breathed wrong. Heat radiated from deep inside. The shooting stopped. Owen froze. Footsteps crunched through debris, getting closer. Heavy boots, multiple pairs. He shoved the sphere inside his jacket and sealed the crate as quietly as possible. Check everything, a rough voice commanded. The hatchling has to be here. Scans showed this location. Hatchling? Owen's mind raced. What kind of cargo was he hauling? The sphere moved against his chest. Owen bit back a curse. The thing shifted again, pressing outward like something inside was trying to break free. Hairline cracks appeared across the crystalline surface. Light leaked through the fractures, growing brighter. This was bad. This was extremely bad. He needed to move, but the raiders were right on top of his position. Their scanner beeps filled the air. Any second now, they'd find him. The sphere cracked open and a tiny creature tumbled into Owen's hands. It was no bigger than a kitten, with scales that shimmered like opals in sunlight. For legs, 2 wings folded against its back, a long tail that immediately wrapped around Owen's wrist. The head was distinctly reptilian, with large eyes that fixed on Owen with startling intelligence like a dragon. A real, actual dragon. Owen had seen pictures in history files, back when he bothered with education feeds. Dragons were extinct, had been for centuries, hunted down and killed off before humans even left Earth. Except here was one staring at him like he held all the answers to the universe. The dragon chirped. A soft, musical sound. Every scanner in the yard screamed at once. There, Busiéture confirmée. Boots thundered toward his position. Owen didn't think. He shoved the dragon inside his jacket, zipped it shut, and ran. Energy bolts scorched the air around him. One hit the ground near his feet, spraying hot dust across his legs. He kept running. His ship's ramp was down. Never had those 30 meters felt so long. Behind him, the raiders were shouting, coordinating, closing in. Owen's lungs burned. His legs screamed. The dragon squirmed against his chest, tiny claws digging through his shirt point 20 meters that a bolt hit the ramp controls. Sparks flew. The ramp started closing. Owen put on a final burst of speed and dove. He hit the ramp on his shoulder, rolled, and tumbled into the cargo bay as the ramp sealed behind him. Bolts hammered against the hull. The ship's systems wailed warnings. Owen scrambled to the cockpit and slammed his hand on the emergency launch. The engines roared to life. More warnings. Someone was trying to override his systems remotely. Owen killed the connection and fired the thrusters. The ship lurched into the air. Through the viewport, he saw the raiders running for their own vessels. They'd follow. Of course they'd follow. Owen set a random course and engaged the jump drive. 3 seconds until it charged. The raiders' ships were lifting off. 2 seconds. They were getting into position. 1 second. The universe folded around Owen's ship and they jumped. Silence filled the cockpit except for Owen's ragged breathing. He looked down at his jacket. A small bulge moved inside. He unzipped it carefully. The dragon poked its head out and chirped again. Those intelligent eyes studied him without fear. One tiny paw reached up and touched Owen's chest, right over his heart. Warmth spread through Owen's skin. Not painful, but intense, like sunlight concentrated into a single point. The dragon pressed closer, purring in a way that vibrated through Owen's ribs. When it pulled back, Owen glanced down at his chest. Even through his shirt, he could see something different. A faint pattern, like scales, marked his skin where the dragon had touched him. Owen stared at the creature in his hands. It yawned, showing tiny sharp teeth, then curled up in his palm like it belonged there. What had he just gotten himself into? 3 days into running for his life, Owen realized the dragon was growing to IT had started palm-sized. Now it filled both hands when stretched out, scales gleaming brighter each day. The creature followed him everywhere around the ship, chirping and clicking in patterns that almost sounded like language. Owen had started calling it glint, mostly because staring at those opal scales too long made his eyes water. The marks on his chest had spread. What started as a small patch now covered his entire torso in a scale-like pattern. Not real scales, not yet, but his skin had taken on a faint metallic sheen. Owen had stopped looking in mirrors. His navigation system chimed. Crossroads Haven Station appeared on the display, a massive cylinder rotating in the darkness. Neutral territory, no corporate claims, no government control. The kind of place where people didn't ask questions as long as your credits were good. Owen needed answers more than he needed safety. Docking was easy. Getting past security with a dragon hidden in his jacket was harder. Glint stayed perfectly still as Owen walked through the scanners, but he felt the creature's heartbeat racing against his ribs. The guards waved him through without a second glance. The station's main concourse bustled with 100 different species. Owen kept his head down and made his way to the archive section. If anyone knew about dragons, it would be buried in some forgotten database. He found a terminal in a quiet corner and started searching. Most files were corrupted or deleted. References to dragons appeared in fragments, like someone had tried to erase them from history. What little remained painted a strange picture. Dragons bonded with other species. The bond was symbiotic, granting both parties enhanced abilities. Dragon-bonded warriors had once served as peacekeepers across the galaxy. Then they'd vanished. No explanation. Just gone. Glint poked its head out of Owen's jacket, eyes fixed on the screen. The dragon made a soft sound, almost sad, looking for something specific. Owen spun around. An elderly alien stood behind him, leaning on a carved walking stick. For arms, skin like tree bark, eyes that held too much knowledge. The species was Corvalli, if Owen remembered right. Long-lived, really long-lived. Just browsing. Owen said. The alien smiled. You're a terrible liar, human, and your jacket is moving. Glint chose that moment to climb out completely. The dragon perched on Owen's shoulder and chirped at the alien to T.O. Owen's surprise. The alien's eyes went wide, then wet. The old being actually had tears running down weathered cheeks. Ancestors preserve us, the alien whispered. I never thought I'd see another. He steadied himself with his walking stick. My name is Riss, and you, human, are in more danger than you realize. Riss led them to a small shop tucked away in the station's older sections. The place sold curiosities and antiques, dust thick on most surfaces. Once inside with the door locked, Riss moved faster than any elderly being had a right to move. He pulled out scanning equipment and examined Glint with practiced efficiency. Healthy, Riss announced. Growing properly. The bond has taken hold. He gestured to Owen's chest. May I? Owen pulled up his shirt. The scale pattern had spread further since that morning. Riss traced the marks with one finger. Just like the old days, the bond changes both partners. The dragon grants physical enhancement. You provide protection and purpose. He looked at Owen seriously. There's no going back. Your body is transforming. In time, you'll barely recognize yourself. What? Owen asked. Why me? Dragons choose, Riss said simply. They always have. Glint chose you for reasons only it understands. He moved to a locked cabinet and pulled out a data chip. This contains everything I know about the old dragon bonded. It's not much. Most records were destroyed. Destroyed by who? The consortium, the hierarchy, every major power in the galaxy. Riss's voice turned bitter. Dragon bonded couldn't be controlled, couldn't be corrupted. They protected the weak without asking permission from strong. So the powers that be hunted them down. Every dragon, every bonded warrior, kill them all. But Glint survived, Owen said. Someone made sure of that. Riss handed him the data chip. Someone preserved eggs, hid them, waited. He looked at Glint. The question is, why now? Why send a dragon to bond after all these centuries? Glint climbed down Owen's arm and touched Riss's hand. The old alien smiled. You need to leave the station, Riss said. The consortium has hunters everywhere. They'll be tracking biosignatures, following jump trails. They want Glint for their weapons division. The hierarchy wants it dead. He pulled out a piece of paper with coordinates written by hand. Go here. It's a sanctuary. Others there remember the old ways. They can teach you. Teach me what? How to fight. How to survive. How to be what the dragon chose you to become. Alarms shrieked through the station. Red lights flashed. Owen's stomach dropped. They found you faster than I expected, Riss said. He pushed Owen toward a back exit. Go. Now. Don't stop. Don't look back. Owen hesitated. Come with us. I'm too old to run. Human. Besides, someone needs to slow them down. He smiled. Protect that dragon. Protect yourself. The galaxy needs you, whether it knows it or not. Owen ran. Behind him, he heard Riss shouting at station security, causing a commotion. Buying time. The ship launched 2 minutes later. Owen barely cleared the docking bay before consortium vessels appeared. He jumped blindly, then jumped again, randomizing his course. Only when he was sure no one followed did he set coordinates for the sanctuary. Glint curled up in the co-pilot's seat, watching Owen with those knowing eyes. Owen looked at the scale patterns creeping down his arms. Whatever he'd been before didn't matter anymore. That life ended the moment he opened that crate, that he set course and engaged the drive. Time to find out what he was becoming. The asteroid belt saved Owen's life, at least temporarily. His ship limped through the rocks, engine sputtering. The jump drive was fried. Life support was holding, barely. The sanctuary coordinates mocked him from a navigation display, still 3 systems away. Glint had grown to the size of a large dog. The dragon paced the small cockpit, agitated, sensing danger before Owen's instruments could confirm it. Those opal scales now shifted colors with Glint's mood. Right now, they ran dark red. The proximity alarm screamed. 3 ships dropped out of jump space behind him. Consortium markings. They'd found him again. Owen cursed and pushed the engines harder. Something exploded in the rear compartment. The ship shuddered. Not good. He scanned the belt desperately. There, a mining asteroid, old colony, long abandoned. He aimed for it and prayed his ship held together long enough to land. The landing was less controlled crash, more barely survived disaster. The ship plowed through the asteroid's thin atmosphere and hit rock hard. Metal screamed. Systems died, but they were down. Owen grabbed his emergency kit and the data chip from Riss. Glint followed him to the airlock. The dragon's wings had developed enough to glide short distances now. Those intelligent eyes tracked every movement Owen made. Stay close, Owen said. He didn't know if Glint understood words, but the dragon pressed against his leg. The asteroid surface was mostly mining tunnels. Owen picked one and ran into the darkness. Behind him, he heard the consortium ships landing. They'd have scanners, weapons, training. Owen had a pistol with 1 charge pack and a dragon that chirped. The tunnels branched in multiple directions. Owen chose randomly. Try to put distance between himself and the hunters. His breath echoed off stone walls. The scale patterns on his skin were spreading faster now. They covered his arms completely, creeping up his neck. When he touched them, they felt harder than normal skin. Almost like armor, Glint hissed. Owen froze, footsteps ahead. Behind, they'd split up to trap him. Owen ducked into a side passage and pressed against the wall. Glint tucked close, surprisingly quiet for a growing dragon. 0.5 mercenaries passed his position. Heavy armor, military-grade weapons. They moved with professional precision. Owen was so outmatched it wasn't even funny. Bioscanner shows the target ahead, one mercenary said. Terminate on sight. The dragon we take alive. Over my dead body, Owen thought, then realized they'd probably be fine with that arrangement. He waited until they passed, then moved deeper into the tunnels. But more mercenaries were coming. Their voices echoed through the passages. Owen was running out of places to run. The tunnel opened into a larger chamber. Old mining equipment rusted in corners. Multiple exits, but Owen could hear boots coming from all of them. They'd boxed him in. Glint moved in front of Owen, wings spreading. The dragon's scales shifted to bright silver, almost glowing in the dim light. A low growl rumbled from Glint's chest. It's okay, Owen whispered, but it wasn't okay. They were trapped. The mercenaries entered from 3 directions. 12 armed soldiers surrounding one unarmed hauler and a dragon barely old enough to fly. Their weapons all pointed at Owen. Step away from the creature, the lead mercenary commanded. You can walk away from this. We only want the dragon. Owen looked at Glint. The dragon stared back with complete trust. This creature had chosen him, bonded with him, changed him. Owen couldn't explain it, but he knew with absolute certainty that handing over Glint was impossible. No, Owen said. The mercenary sighed. Stupid choice. They opened fire. Owen threw himself over Glint without thinking. Bullets hammered into his back. He screamed, waiting for death. Death didn't come. The impacts hurt. Felt like being hit with hammers. But the bullets didn't penetrate. Owen looked at his hands. The scale pattern was glowing, shifting, spreading across his exposed skin in real time. Where bullets hit, the scales hardened into actual armor. Metallic, iridescent, impossibly strong. The transformation swept through Owen's entire body. His muscles expanded. His bones thickened. The pain was enormous and exhilarating at the same time. He felt Glint's presence in his mind. Not words, but emotions and sensations. The bond was activating, changing him into something new. Owen stood up. Bullets still hammered against him, but now they just bounced off. He looked at the mercenaries through eyes that saw better, faster, clearer than human eyes. Should point one mercenary dropped his weapon and ran. Smart, the others kept shooting. Owen moved. He crossed the distance to the nearest mercenary faster than he'd ever moved in his life. The punch he threw sent the armored soldier flying backward into the wall. Owen stared at his transformed hand. Silver-blue scales covered it completely. Claws tipped his fingers. Glint released a pulse of energy. Owen felt it build in the dragon's chest, then explode outward. The wave knocked half the mercenaries off their feet, scrambling their electronics. Their armor systems died. Their weapons stopped working. What followed was less a fight and more a desperate brawl. Owen's new strength let him tear through their ranks. He wasn't trying to kill, just disable, disarm, get them out of the way. The mercenaries fought back hard, but their weapons couldn't hurt him anymore. The scales absorbed impacts, deflected blades, turned away energy beams. Glint fought beside him, moving with predatory grace. The dragon's tail whipped out and sent soldiers tumbling. Those developing claws raked across armor, leaving deep gouges that in under a minute, it was over. The mercenaries lay scattered across the chamber, groaning, defeated. Owen looked at himself in a piece of reflective metal. Scales covered most of his visible skin now. His eyes had changed color, showing hints of the same opal shimmer as Glint's scales. He tried to will the transformation away. The scales receded slightly, but didn't disappear completely. Glint chirped and pressed against Owen's leg. The dragon's emotions flooded through their bond. Pride, relief, affection. Owen touched the scales on his arm. This was permanent. Whatever he'd been before wasn't that person anymore. He gathered what supplies he could from the mercenaries and headed back to his ship. Maybe he could get the engines running. Maybe he could still reach the sanctuary. Behind him, Glint launched into the air, wings catching the thin atmosphere. Together, they'd survived. Together, they'd continue. The sanctuary existed inside a nebula so dense that navigation was nearly impossible. Owen followed Rissa's coordinates blindly, trusting instruments he barely understood. When his ship finally emerged from the swirling gas clouds, he found a small planet wrapped in layers of defensive satellites. A voice crackled over the communication system. "State your purpose." Owen glanced at Glint, now the size of a pony and taking up most of the cargo space. "I'm looking for people who remember the dragon bonded." Silence. Then, land at the following coordinates. Any deviation will result in immediate destruction. Friendly bunch. The settlement was smaller than Owen expected. Maybe 200 buildings scattered across a valley. Simple structures. No obvious defenses beyond the satellites. But as he landed, Owen saw faces watching from windows. Dozens of different species, all of them staring at Glint with expressions ranging from wonder to disbelief. An ancient alien waited at the landing pad. Tall, thin, skin the color of weathered stone. He leaned on a staff that looked like it had seen centuries of use. When Glint emerged from the ship, the old alien's eyes went wide. "Impossible," he whispered. Then louder, "Impossible." A dragon. A living dragon. He approached slowly, hands trembling. "And a human bonded. I never thought I'd witness this again." "You've seen this before?" Owen asked. "I fought beside dragon-bonded warriors 300 years ago." The alien touched Glint's scales reverently. The dragon allowed it, even seemed to enjoy the attention. "My name is Tal. I was a medic in the last war. I treated bonded warriors when they fell." He looked at Owen. "You're changing. I can see it. The bond is deep already." Owen showed him the scales covering his arms and torso. They no longer receded completely. Even relaxed, his skin had a metallic sheen. Tal nodded. "The transformation accelerates with use. Every time you activate the bond's power, it changes you further." He gestured toward the settlement. "Cool, mate. There's much you need to learn, and I suspect time is short." Over the following weeks, Tal taught Owen things no human had learned in centuries. How to control the transformation, how to shift between forms, how to read Glint's thoughts through their bond. The dragon was intelligent, Tal explained. Not human intelligence, but something different. Ancient. Dragons understood things on a level words couldn't capture. Owen practiced in a training ground outside the settlement. His strength had increased dramatically. He could lift weights that would have crushed him before. His reflexes operated at speeds that shouldn't be human. The scales, when fully manifested, could withstand incredible damage. Glint grew alongside him. The dragon practiced flight, breathing exercises that produced crystalline shards instead of fire. Those shards could punch through solid rock. Tal explained that each dragon had unique abilities. Glint specialized in precision and defense. "You're a protector pair," Tal said one evening. "Some bonded were aggressors, overwhelming force. Some are scouts, speed and stealth. You two are defenders, built to hold ground, to shield others." Owen thought about that. A cargo hauler turned protector. Life had a sense of humor. During their training, Owen learned the true history. Dragon-bonded warriors had served as peacekeepers for thousands of years. They answered to no government, no corporation. They protected the weak simply because it was right. That independence made them dangerous to those in PowerPoint 200 years ago. The consortium and the hierarchy had formed a secret alliance. Together, they hunted every dragon, every bonded warrior. The campaign was systematic and brutal. They burned breeding grounds, poisoned habitats, killed hatchlings before they could bond. The last dragon bonded had fallen defending a refugee colony. After that, the dragons were considered extinct. The galaxy moved on. Corporate power consolidated. Authoritarian governments expanded. Without the dragon bonded to challenge them, nothing stood in their way. But someone saved eggs, Owen said. Someone preserved them. Tal schmoiled. There was a faction. Scientists, historians, believers. They couldn't stop the genocide, but they could save genetic material. Dragon eggs in stasis. Hidden across the galaxy, in places the hunters wouldn't look. He looked at Glint. Someone decided it was time. Time to try again. Try what? To restore balance. To give the galaxy protectors again. Tal's expression grew serious. Dragons choose their partners carefully. Glint's egg was sent to find a human specifically. Your species has something dragons respond to. Adaptability, protective instincts, the capacity to change. Owen practiced shifting forms until he could do it smoothly. Human to armored in seconds. The scales would flow across his skin like liquid metal, hardening into proper armor. His strength multiplied. His senses sharpened. He could feel Glint's presence constantly now, a warmth in the back of his mind. The dragon had grown massive. Wingspan 20 feet when fully extended. Scales like polished mirrors. Those intelligent eyes tracked everything. Glint could sense threats before Owen's enhanced senses registered them. Together, they moved like one organism. 1 month into training, Tal woke Owen in the middle of the night. They found us, the old alien said. Consortium fleet. Massive force. They're coming for Glint. For you. For everyone here who remembers. Owen looked out the window. The night sky showed distant lights. Ships. Hundreds of them. We need to evacuate, Owen said. There's no time. They'll be here in hours. Tal gripped his staff. The people here are old. Slow. Most can't fight. He looked at Owen. But you can. Owen felt the scales ripple under his skin. Glint stood beside him, wings half spread, ready. I'm one person, Owen said. One bonded. Against an army. You're what the dragon bonded always were, Tal replied. Proof that the strong don't get to do whatever they want. That someone will stand up. That power has limits. Owen looked at the settlement. Families sleeping. Elders who'd preserved history when everyone else forgot. Refugees who remembered what it meant to have protectors. Glint touched Owen's hand with one claw. The bond flared. Emotions flooded through. Determination. Purpose. The dragon wasn't afraid. Neither was Owen. Tell everyone to shelter in the central buildings, Owen said. Heavy walls. Deep basements. Stay there until it's over. And you? Owen smiled. The scales were already spreading across his skin. I'm going to buy them time to escape. He walked toward the landing field where the sky was filling with enemy ships. Glint followed, wings spread wide. The first wave hit at dawn. Owen stood alone in the valley as dropships screamed overhead. Hundreds of them. The consortium had brought enough firepower to level a city. All of it aimed at one settlement protected by a single bonded warrior and his dragon. Glint landed beside Owen, scales gleaming in the rising sun. The dragon had reached full size now, massive and terrifying and beautiful. Through their bond, Owen felt Glint's calm readiness. No fear, just purpose. The scales flowed across Owen's body. The transformation was instant now, natural as breathing. His skin hardened into armor that shimmered with opal light. Strength flooded his muscles. His senses expanded, catching every sound, every movement across the battlefield. The dropships landed. Soldiers poured out. At least 500. Heavy weapons, battle mechs, energy shields. Everything the consortium could throw at one target. Their commander's voice boomed across the valley through speakers. Surrender the dragon. This is your only warning. Owen didn't bother responding. He ran forward. The consortium forces opened fire. Energy beams and ballistic rounds filled the air. Owen felt the impacts against his armor, but didn't slow. The scales absorbed most of the damage, distributing force across his entire body. What got through just made him angrier. He hit their front line like a meteor. His fist connected with a battle mech and sent it tumbling backward. Another mech swung at him. Owen ducked under the blow and drove his shoulder into its chest, crumpling armor. Soldiers scattered as he tore through their formation. Glint struck from above. The dragon's crystalline breath, shards rained down, punching through shields and armor. Enemy weapons fired at Glint, but the dragon's scales deflected most shots. What had just bounced off? Glint dove, claws extended, and raked across a group of soldiers. Not killing, Owen noticed. Disabling. Disarming. The dragon fought to protect, not destroy. The battle became chaos. Owen moved faster than the soldiers could track. His transformed body let him jump impossible distances, hit with devastating force, absorb punishment that would kill normal humans. He and Glint worked as one organism, covering each other's blind spots, coordinating without words. But there were so many enemies. For every soldier Owen disabled, 2 more took their place. His armor held, but he could feel the strain. Each impact drained energy from a bond. Each transformation cycle took something from him. That a missile struck Glint's wing. The dragon roared and crashed to the ground. Owen felt the pain through their bond like his own wing had been hit. He fought his way to Glint's side, placing himself between the dragon and incoming fire. "Stay down," Owen commanded. Through the bond, he felt Glint's frustration but also trust. More soldiers advanced. Owen stood his ground. His armor deflected shots from every direction. He'd become a living shield, buying time for Glint to recover. The refugees to escape. For something, anything except failure, the consortium commander deployed their weapon. Owen saw it being assembled on a nearby ridge. Some kind of energy cannon, specifically designed, the commander announced proudly, to kill dragons. Developed from old war records, tuned to disrupt the biological frequencies unique to dragon physiology. The weapon powered up with a sound like reality tearing. Owen looked at Glint. The dragon was trying to stand, injured wing dragging. No time. The weapon would fire any second and Glint couldn't move fast enough to dodge. Owen ran. Not away. Toward Glint, the weapon discharged. A beam of concentrated energy lanced across the valley. Owen threw himself in front of Glint, scales fully manifested, every bit of armor he could summon. The beam hit him. Pain exploded through Owen's body. Not physical pain, deeper. The beam was designed to kill dragons by disrupting their fundamental nature. It tore at the bond, tried to rip apart what connected Owen and Glint. Owen screamed. He felt the bond fraying, breaking, dying. And then something shifted. The bond didn't break. It changed. Instead of tearing apart, it fused together completely. Owen and Glint merged at a level deeper than either had been before. The dragon's strength became Owen's. Owen's will become Glint's. They stopped being 2 separate beings connected by a bond and became something unified. The transformation was absolute. Owen's body restructured itself. Scales didn't just cover his skin anymore. They became his skin. His bones thickened with the same crystalline structure as Glint's. His muscles rewove themselves into something stronger than human, different than dragon, but incorporating both. When Owen opened his eyes, he saw through dragon and human sight simultaneously. His hands ended in claws that could shift between forms. Wings erupted from his back, not Glint's wings, his own. The bond was complete. Belmano. Irreversible. Owen stood. The weapon fired again. This time the beam washed over him harmlessly. The energy meant to kill dragons couldn't touch what he'd become. He wasn't dragon bonded anymore. He was something new, something that had never existed before. He moved. Faster than before, stronger than before. His wings launched him into the air toward the weapon. Soldiers tried to stop him. Their weapons couldn't track his speed. Owen landed on the ridge, grabbed the energy cannon, and crushed it with his bare hands. Glint joined him, flying despite the injured wing. Together, they turned on the consortium forces. The battle shifted. Soldiers began retreating. Their weapons were useless. Their mechs were scrap. Their carefully planned assault had become a rout. The commander tried to rally them, but his soldiers had seen enough. They'd come to fight a dragon and a human. What faced them now was beyond their understanding, beyond their pay grade. The dropships lifted off, leaving behind disabled equipment and wounded soldiers. Owen let them go. He'd proven the point. The consortium couldn't take what they wanted just because they were strong. Not anymore. In the valley below, refugees emerged from shelters. They stared at Owen with expressions mixing awe and fear. Tal approached slowly. The old alien looked Owen up and down, taking in the permanent transformation. "You're the first of something new," Tal said quietly. "Not dragon, not human, both, neither." He smiled. "The galaxy isn't ready for you." Owen flexed his new wings. Glint landed beside him, and Owen realized he could still feel the dragon's separate presence within their unified bond. They were together, but still distinct. Partners, protectors. "Then the galaxy better get ready," Owen said, "because this is just the beginning." Word spread fast. Within days, every communication network in the galaxy carried the story. A dragon had returned. A human had bonded. Together, they defeated a consortium army. Owen stood on a cliff overlooking the sanctuary settlement, listening to reports from across known space. Some called him a hero. Others called him a threat. The consortium put a price on his head, so large it made him laugh. The hierarchy declared him an enemy of civilization. Smaller governments weren't sure what to make of him, but the refugees knew. The oppressed knew. The weak and powerless knew. They started calling for help. Glint perched beside Owen, wings folded. The dragon had healed quickly from the battle injuries. Through their bond, Owen felt Glint's determination. They'd started something that couldn't be stopped now. Tal approached with a data pad. 15 distress calls in the last hour. Colony under pirate attack. Space station being extorted. Workers enslaved on a mining world. He looked at Owen. "You can't answer them all." "I could try," Owen said. "You're one being. The galaxy is enormous." Owen smiled. He pulled a small case from his pocket and opened it. Inside rested 3 crystalline spheres. Dragon eggs. Tal had given them to him after the battle, preserved from the old times, waiting for the right moment. "I won't be alone for long," Owen said. Over the next weeks, Owen and Glint became something the galaxy hadn't seen in centuries. They hit consortium operations with surgical precision, freed prisoners, disrupted weapons shipments, protected colonies that couldn't protect themselves. Every action was calculated to send a message. The powerful no longer had free rein. The consortium tried to stop them. They sent hunters, mercenaries, entire fleets. Nothing worked. Owen's transformed body made him nearly invulnerable. His bond with Glint gave them perfect coordination. They struck fast and disappeared before overwhelming force could arrive. But Owen knew this couldn't last. He was buying time, not winning. The real war would require more than one bonded warrior. He traveled to a world where humans had settled. Earth colony, 2nd generation. He met with their leaders in secret. "I have dragon eggs," Owen told them. 3 of them. Dragons choose their partners. "I can't guarantee who they'll bond with or if they'll bond at all. But if you're willing to try." The colony leaders looked at the eggs with wonder and fear. "What would we become?" one asked. Owen showed them his transformed body. Scales that never fully receded. Eyes that caught light like gemstones. Wings folded against his back. Something new. Something the galaxy needs. One leader, a woman named Diana, stepped forward. "The consortium takes our resources and gives us nothing. The hierarchy dictates our laws from systems away. We're strong enough to resist, but not strong enough to win." She looked at Owen. "If these eggs give us the power to protect ourselves, I'll volunteer." 2 others joined her. 3 humans willing to risk everything. Owen placed the eggs in their hands. At first, nothing happened. Then the eggs began to warm. Cracks appeared. Light leaked through. The dragons that emerged were different from Glint. One had scales like polished copper. Another shimmered green as deep forests. The third reflected colors that didn't have names. Each dragon looked at the human holding it and chose. The bonds formed instantly. Owen felt them through his connection to Glint. 3 new partnerships beginning. 3 more protectors joining the fight. "It will change you," Owen warned. "The transformation is permanent. There's no going back." Diana held her dragon, already feeling the marks spreading across her skin. "Good. I don't want to go back. I want to go forward." The new bonded trained with Owen. Their transformations came faster than his had. The dragons grew rapidly. Within months, for bonded warriors stood ready. News spread. Other eggs began awakening. Beings from different species volunteered. Not all bonds took. Dragons were selective. but enough succeeded. 10 bonded, then 20, then 50. The galaxy watched in amazement and horror as dragon-bonded warriors returned from extinction. Owen led them in their first coordinated action, a consortium superweapon being built to subjugate an entire sector. The facility was heavily defended. Impossible to assault with conventional forces. 50 dragon-bonded warriors proved conventional didn't matter anymore. They hit the facility like a storm. Owen and Glint led the assault. Behind them, the new bonded fought with the fury of those who'd been powerless too long. The consortium defenders couldn't adapt. Their weapons were designed to fight normal enemies. Dragon-bonded warriors weren't normal. Owen confronted the consortium executives personally. They offered him everything: credits, power, a seat on their board, control of entire systems. "You can't stop us," one executive said. "We control the economy, the infrastructure, everything." Owen looked at the executive with eyes that saw through lies. "You control systems built on exploitation. Those systems are ending. Not because I'll destroy them, because people will choose better once they're not afraid." He destroyed the superweapon, left the executives alive, but stripped of their security. Let them explain to their shareholders how they'd failed. The galaxy shifted. Not overnight. Slowly, places that had been strongholds of corporate or government power suddenly faced resistance. Workers who'd been exploited found protectors. Pirates who'd terrorized shipping lanes encountered dragons. Slavers learned that dragon-bonded warriors hunted them specifically. Owen stood on the same cliff where this had started, watching Glint fly through clouds. More dragons joined Glint in the sky. Dozens of them, each bonded with a partner who'd chosen to protect rather than exploit. His communicator chimed. Another distress call. A colony facing invasion. Standard pattern. Owen spread his wings. The transformation was as natural as breathing now. He wasn't human anymore. Wasn't dragon. Was something the galaxy had needed without knowing it. Glint landed beside him, ready. "Time to go to work," Owen said. They launched into the sky together. Behind them, other bonded warriors took flight. The age of dragon-bonded protectors had returned. And this time, they wouldn't be destroyed. There were too many, spread too wide, fighting for something larger than themselves. The galaxy would adapt or break trying. Owen didn't care which. He had people to protect. That was enough that he flew toward the next crisis, Glint beside him, an army of protectors at his back. The future was uncertain, but it was free, and that made everything worthwhile.